Greater MSP Business is brought to you by PwC, U.S.
Take 200,000 ears of corn trucked in daily, add 4,000 pounds of butter and tens of thousands of corn lovers, and you have the recipe for a successful state fair food vendor. This is the corn roast operation at the corner of Nelson and Dan Patch, the creation of a St. Thomas University MBA grad whose strategy for selling sweet corn has made corn roast one of the top grossing food businesses at the fair. Brad Ribar was that St. Thomas student and the owner of Corn Roast. Thanks for joining us this morning.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Why did you, as a business student, think that this was going to be a good business idea?
Well, I had seen an operation similar to this at another fair, and I had never seen roasted corn in my life and tried it. And I was so impressed with what roasting did to the flavor of a piece of sweet corn, I had to bring it here.
So you did it just based on your taste buds?
Yes.
That was it? If you liked it that much, it was that good, it was going to sell?
I thought it would work, yes.
Okay, so now you've got your taste buds primed, you've got the recipe down pat. You have to get into the state fair. This is not an easy operation to get into. What did that take?
Well, it took 5 years to get in. It took 3 years to sell them on the idea that corn would sell, and more importantly, that it wouldn't be a sanitation issue. They were very concerned that people would throw their cobs around the fairgrounds, and it'd be a safety concern and sanitation concern. After studying it at another fair, they realized that it was such a garbage item that people didn't throw it on the ground that they did find recycling or garbage cans to put it in.
So yeah, it's not like a corn cob or a corn husk, what's left of it,
Right.
and the cob. It's not like a paper cup where you might just kind of forget about it, crumple it up, or it flies out of your hand.
A little more
You have
self-conscious about disposing it.
And actually, what you've done with the corn cobs is part of a recycling operation. Can you describe that?
Well, that took another, I would say it was a 5-year process of implementing it, trying to find the space. But in the first year, we recycled the corn, and that worked for a while. Now it's composting the corn. It goes back and forth, depending on where they can get rid of it. Mm-hmm. When it's recycled, it's probably gone into animal food, ground up for that. Composting's a little tougher because you have to be more careful what's in it.
You know, that's one of the problems that you have to look out for as a food vendor. What are the other challenges? What are the other problems you have to be worried about when you're out here, even for a short period of time like you're at the fair?
With our product or any product in general?
Well, your product in particular, but I would imagine that some food vendors share some concerns.
Well, we all share weather concerns. I mean, you set up for the perfect day. You buy your inventory for good weather, your employees are scheduled, and if you get 3 days of rain, you still have employees that are on the clock, and they've committed to you, so you commit back to them. Mm-hmm. It's not their fault it's raining, it's the owner that takes it. So.
And it's not just rain. We were discussing earlier, it's heat that also has a factor. Like last year, it was a sticky state fair.
It was terrible. I mean, there was about a 7-day period that was just oppressive. And the help hung in there. Actually, it works out well having too much help because they get a lot of breaks and it keeps them fresh. Mm-hmm. I'd rather have a rain day than a hot day because you sell as much in a rain day, but your help doesn't get beat up. So, yeah.
And what people don't do is they just don't, they'll come out here for the fair on a hot day, but they just kind of slow down, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, and they don't even drink pop because it bloats you. And they might eat one food item, then they're just full.
You know, how do you manage that in your business cycle then, knowing that you're going to have good years and bad?
That's part of it. You always prepare for bad years. And when you have a good year, you put some away so that you can get through the bad times.
You know, I want to, before we get on to a slightly different subject here, I want to ask you about your help. We were out there. The help is so enthusiastic and so good and very responsive. And how do they find you? How do you do that?
When we first started, I was working with our youth group at church. And my main crew came from the church youth group. And it's built over the years. We send letters out in July and ask people that want to come back and if they have friends. So nobody gets the job for us if they're not recommended by somebody we know. Oh. And we probably turned 30 people down this year. We hire 100. So.
Wow. Oh, that's that's saying something too.
It's a big social event for these kids.
Yeah, so, it is. I bet it is.
Yep.
Okay, let's talk about the corn. Where do you get it? How do you get it here? How do you keep it fresh?
We buy it from Jerry Untide, who is a farmer out of Waverly.
Yes, we have had him on our show earlier.
Best best produce farmer in the state of Minnesota and 5-state area. If he wasn't, I'd be looking for somebody else. He's fantastic. We ordered every night. I usually put the order in about 11 o'clock to midnight, and they pick it the next morning and they bring it to me that night. So it's fresh every day.
And then, of course, that's one reason why this is so popular, because corn aficionados say it's, I mean, if they could do it, they'd go out to Jerry Untight's field and, stick it in a pot of boiling water.
Yes. And Monday, that's about what we were doing, because I try to order and not have any extra. So I go in kind of skinny some of these days, and Monday, Tuesday were fantastic days. I was at the farm 3 times in those 2 days, getting the stuff that he had just picked and put it back on the roasters here. So,
do you do other state fairs, other regional fairs?
We do about 30 events, 2 other state fairs, but all the other events we do are with cheese curds. This is the only one I do sweet corn at.
Oh.
You know, we're the cheese curds at the Wisconsin State Fair and the Iowa State Fair. But corn here.
And is there a reason that you keep corn exclusive to the Minnesota State Fair?
It's the first one I got into. It doesn't work on a small scale basis. I've tried it at a couple county fairs and you just can't make any money at it. You have to have a bigger volume. It's higher food costs than people think. And I've tried to get in the Iowa State Fair, which I think would be fantastic, and they don't think corn will sell in Iowa. I don't understand it, but
Seriously?
Yeah.
Maybe Iowans can go to their backyards and pick it right and put it in the pot.
Well, so can we.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
that's an interesting point.
Yeah.
You know, what do you do when you're not at the fair? I mean, now you'll close up here. You'll go to a few other locations.
Yep.
But your season ends when?
The first weekend of October is our last event, and then a lot of it's catching up on our equipment. It gets tired over the year. A lot of maintenance, winterizing, and we do that up until the time the ground freezes. And then it's work on home projects and paperwork and a lot of conventions and trade shows during the winter. And April 1st, we start up again.
You start up again.
Yeah.
It's good. Summer is only a few seasons away again.
And and we don't enjoy summer because we're working.
Right.
Yeah.
Brad Ribar from Corn Roast, thanks for joining us
Thank
today.
you. It's been a pleasure.
Now, for the right business, the Minnesota State Fair is a great place to enhance a brand. Just ask the Minnesota Turkey Growers Association. Next.